Greetings once more, dear friends. Fanatical Dragon back once again. Now, if you're watching this, that means I am still holed up recovering from a pretty hefty operation that I've had to go through. Not too sure how long it's going to knock me out for, so I've made a bunch of videos of things that I've had on the shelf and haven't gotten around to do unboxings for until now. So this is Constantine, Francis Lawrence's pretty incredible comic book adaptation of the John Constantine character played by Keanu Reeves. Apparently we are getting a sequel pretty soon. This previously had a whole bunch of releases, including some nice boutique label releases, most famously, I guess, in my little wee echo chamber, the Mantelab release, which was incredibly expensive. We're now getting a 4K release. The Mantelab was just a regular Blu-ray, and we will take a look inside and see what you get. It's a fairly recent development, Warner Brothers doing these kind of like boutique style premium box releases of their titles. I'm all for it because they're priced much more affordably than kind of getting the Mantelab or HD Zeta, Film Arena, any of these sort of labels. A very nice sort of rubbery texture that I am sure will mark as soon as you look at it, so I'll be trying to be pretty careful. And Warner Bros. Also sometimes a bit too liberal with the glue. Not too bad on this one. Let's see if we can get it off the front without wrecking the cover. Success. Yeah, it's super rubbery, it's hard to see, but very rubberized kind of finish, and a little bit of spot glossing around the logos. Thankfully the BBFC certificate is just a sticker. I've waited years for that to be the case. Thankfully it doesn't leave any residue, so we get the same exact artwork as they will get in other countries, and get rid of that little BBFC sticker. And then inside here we are getting a steelbook, which is actually embossed. Respect on front and back. And inside we're getting our two discs, our 4K and our regular Blu-ray. A little envelope with some goodies. I think the on-disc extras are largely the same. There's apparently a new filmed conversation between Francis Lawrence and Keanu Reeves to celebrate the 20th anniversary of this cult classic, which would be pretty cool to see. And then the original extras I think were pretty damn good on this. So we get a couple of behind the scenes shots. Interesting. Slightly different images on both sides. Cool, they double up. That's nice, you don't often see that. I wonder if that's going to be for all of them or just for the first couple. Okay, we've got a mix. So yeah, these ones are all double-sided. The wonderful Tilda Swinton. A very young Shia LaBeouf. Cool. A little bit disappointed we don't get a Peter Stormare card, but it is what it is. And then a couple of, presuming, production sketches. These ones are just single-sided with the logo on the back. Not bad. And we're getting what looks like two posters, which will just be big versions of the old theatrical posters. That's the cover of the old DVD and Blu-ray that I remember first time round. And that's the one that they've actually used on the cover of the box, and that's pretty much it. But a nice steelbook. Pretty nice collection of printed extras, and then a whole bunch of on-disc stuff, which they've not listed on the back, but I'm assuming it was all the stuff that was on the original release when it came out, which was pretty comprehensive. There was a bunch of kind of making-ofs, alternate endings, commentaries, all that jazz. So that's it. That is the Constantine 4K edition. I think Warner Brothers got a whole bunch more of these planned, particularly for Nolan's films. So they're going back to Interstellar and Inception, doing basically re-releases of all of their big heavy titles, basically the ones that Mantelab have been doing over the last couple of years. So let me know in the comments below if it's one that you picked up, or if there's any other ones that are on your radar. I've been the Fanatical Dragon. Thank you so much for watching this. Hopefully I will be back up and running soon with making kind of brand new content, but this is to tide you over in the time being. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.